You're watching Escape Adulthood Live, your number one source for long-lasting, fast-acting, physician-approved adultitis relief.
On this week's show, we're talking about creepy clowns, discussing whether you can outgrow whimsy, and offering hope to those who feel like they're wandering in the desert.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for shenanigating with us on this Wednesday in October. And we have so much great comments going on already, you guys, about clowns. This is definitely something that adults like to talk about.
Yeah, you squealed with delight when, who said it? Cookie the Clown? Who said Cookie the Clown? Victoria?
This may be a Midwest thing with Chicago. Bozo the Clown Show grew up on it. It was like as frequent as Mr. Rogers for us.
The Bozo Buckets is
Bozo
classic.
Buckets. Maybe chime in if you know what we're talking about, because I really do want to know, was this only broadcast in Chicagoland area?
Yeah, I always remember every once in a while you'd get some stiff who would miss the first bucket. Yeah, I almost...
you should explain what a Bozo bucket is so people know.
Yeah, so it was like a series of buckets. There were, I think, 6, if I recall correctly,
maybe?
But correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
That were spread out, and you had a ping pong ball, and you try to throw the ball in the first bucket, and if you could get it in the first bucket, you try to get it in the second.
Yes.
And the more farther along, the better the prizes
got bigger. Yes.
And you almost had
a Schwinn bike was the biggest, right? The Schwinn bike was like the biggest one.
Was there one that had like $100 bill in it? I think
it might have been both, maybe. But we had the Bozo buckets, with the Bozo.
You had to really try to miss the first one, and as a kid, I remember
you just dropped it down.
Hoping,
you know?
Most of the time, the kid that missed it was cocky about it.
Oh,
like they're just
here
like,
we go,
and then it bounce out and be like, "Yes, you idiot!" And then I would always be like, "I need to be on that show."
This must be a boy thing because I didn't really think about it that hard.
Well, it was entertaining.
So Cookie, yes. Who mentioned Cookie? Was it Michelle? Michelle,
I think it was Victoria.
Oh, Victoria.
Wasn't it?
Okay. Hello to Michelle Smith-Beckley too. It's so nice to see you tonight.
Victoria, yes.
Okay. Yes, Cookie.
No, she felt bad for Cookie.
Everybody felt bad for Cookie, right, Victoria?
Right?
He was adorable. He felt like my grandpa, Cookie.
Yeah. Michelle said Bozo was the clown of her childhood.
Okay, so I knew Michelle had a connection there. That's pretty cool. What else do we have?
Paul says, clown free, please. Can't be bad with that. Tracy said the lady I met at Summer Summit went to clown school, and I will say my new clown friend. Yeah,
Joan.
Yeah.
Yes, and she is very.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, she's in the Wonder Whimsy Society. If you don't know her yet, but she is amazing, and she is really passionate about clown school. So yeah, when you get to know her, you get to learn about clowns. It's pretty cool.
Jen says my uncle went to clown school, so he was my favorite.
And Tammy Schroeder, one of our Adultitis Fighters, isn't she a clown school alumni?
I believe so.
Which is how she started her ballooning, I believe.
Yes. Kathy Rose says, thanks for the package today. I ate the candy corn already. Yep. The Wonder and Whimsy Society October Secret Mystery Mailing went out. And priority mail this time. We splurged on priority mail, and they just literally went out yesterday. So we've gotten reports that people close by have already started to receive them. So.
Yeah, I'm wondering if Victoria got hers, because she would have been nearby too. So I don't know. We'll see.
Kelsey says, are we talking clowns? I won't be able to stay. We are just briefly talking about clowns. And speaking of that, we might as well just get right into it, right?
What's happening?
This is a segment of the show we like to call What's Going On?
What's going on?
Where we share a little bit about what's going on in our life, but more importantly, pull out an old
Are we
vintage
gearing up
photo.
for Halloween? Is this part of the
I thought this was
freaky,
appropriate.
This
we have here, there's a lot going on here. You take a good look at it. There's clearly a clown in the photo. Part of me is wondering if any of the people in the foreground even know that clown is there. And what's about to happen next?
I'm very confused about this little baby towards the front. It just seems not like a real, what's it sitting on? Is that just me?
That's your concern?
Oh.
Is what the baby's sitting? Not that there's a creepy 8-foot clown behind the baby with a looks like a real axe.
Yeah,
there's a real
but it's Halloween.
a real axe.
Or is it Halloween?
That's what we want to know. You put it in your comments what you think is going on in this photo. If you have a caption for this photo, if you have any comments, like any words, dialogue that you think is being said or about to be said.
Yeah.
The dad seems very chill with his little tall boy.
This is definitely like the reminiscent of the generation we grew up in, though, right? Like we were those kids, like you and I, the late 70s, early 80s babies. That feels like my dad's kind of outfit.
My mom actually
up.
was a clown for Halloween one year, and she looked a
are
little bit
similar.
like that.
I know.
Makes me wonder what's going on here.
By the way, Victoria did say she got her box, so how cool is that?
Cool.
Very cool.
Well, while we're talking about that, just to throw up real quick here.
Yes. What's going on in our world? This
was going on Monday and Tuesday. Slave labor.
It's called homeschooling, if you really want to know what this looks like. No, the kids actually love to help Jenna. Jenna was in. We transformed our garage into an assembly line, basically. And we cranked out 126 boxes. Yep. I say we. They cranked out 100. Yeah. You and I did not touch a box. That's how awesome they did. So.
No, and they really made quick work of it. There was a lot of stuff to cram in there this time, and don't want to give anything away because obviously some people still haven't received boxes.
Although it looks like Kathy Rose ate her candy corn. So there is...
Yes, and her profile picture has a little bit of a sneak peek on there. Oh, but let us get back to these quotes.
Yes, what's going on? I want to see what's going on.
Tracy says, Dad's got a beer. He don't care.
Right?
And I think that's a true statement all the time. Paul says, this is my worst nightmare.
Oh, we're sorry, Paul. We're giving Paul adultitis tonight. I'm so
Julie,
sorry.
Oh my gosh, that is so frightening.
Yeah.
Christy wonders if it's John Wayne Gacy. We are torturing Kelsey tonight.
I'm sorry. Come back in like 2 minutes, Kelsey.
This reminds me of when I was little and we used to watch The Incredible Hulk.
Yes.
And I was like 4 years old.
This story.
And I always had to leave and go to the bathroom when The Incredible Hulk changed. And it was terrible.
Holy nightmare.
Yeah, it was a nightmare.
Well, the worst part of it is that your aunt caught you sitting at the edge of the tub.
Just waiting. You know, because you took about 2 minutes or so I knew I didn't have to go too long.
It was pretty freaky. I remember that.
Amy Payne says, this is why Miss Amy didn't sleep tonight.
Aww. Show and tell.
Victoria says, pest removal? Yeah, which one? Kathy notices that's a big... beard.
It is pretty tall, isn't it? Was that kind of the standard back then?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jen noticed something I didn't bring out. The beer can and the random arm. I have no idea, but oh man, wow.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Off in the corner.
Yes, that's almost creepy.
Random dude. No one's looking at that person, by the way.
Yeah. This is before photo editing. This is the classic, like, square picture.
Rachel says, what? You wanted me to plan the kids' party this year, honey. Classic dad move, right?
Oh, man. I love it.
It's called Get Out Now.
Yeah, mom needs some mom time. Maybe that's how you get your me time as a mom.
Yeah.
You know? You just take it up a notch and get everybody freaked out.
That photo doesn't just help you escape adultitis. It makes you pee your pants and curl up in a fetal position.
Oh, that's good, Helen. Yeah. It definitely makes you wonder the children. Like, they seem unconcerned. So...
it must. Well, like I said, I don't know that they know it is there yet. That's. I want a picture from 2 minutes later.
Yeah, that's true.
Looks like the clown dropped out of the ceiling, right?
Oh yeah, what's with the ceiling tile? That's a good point.
Tom says Uncle Bob is in the house.
Is that like a checkerboard on the wall, or what would that be?
Why wouldn't there be?
You know, I mean,
this one might be my favorite. Who were you able to find to babysit on such short notice?
And Mike, being a dad, you're like, fine, let's go. Let's get out of the house, right?
Kathy Rose says polka dot party, which reminds me of Margarita a couple weeks ago. And she talked about how whimsical polka dots are.
I've been seeing polka dots everywhere now.
It's not helping this clown. I don't think it's...
The whimsy isn't
polka dots
really
can
catching.
Only do so
Maybe
much,
if it was
right?
a color photo and we could see the colors of the costume. Do you think that would make a difference?
I got a question. What's up with Dad? I think it means dad. Dad's cheeks That is a good question. Dad's
what? So is he in
dad
costume?
is 3 sheets to
I
the
love
wind
how we
here.
didn't even notice that. Very good details there.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah,
Helen makes a good point. Maybe we don't want a picture of 2 minutes later.
Yes.
Perhaps, but
I think we need to kind of wind this up. It's starting to really give me some anxiety.
Well, I think we've really done
Push
our
the
job
limits
for the
on that
evening,
one, you guys.
for tonight. But we'll move on. One of the things on a lighter note,
Yes.
something to share is
Totally unrelated.
related note. Something that our daughter Lucy has been doing is she is involved with an app on the computer called Star Stable, and it's an interactive online horse riding app where you can take care of horses and ride horses and do maneuvers. And she's been in a group where they do dressage and different maneuvers
these young kids
with
these
days,
horses. All the things they do.
And Lucy has actually been kind of teaching things through, so she's doing her own virtual learning, or teaching, I should say.
Yeah, well, she's been like planning it out on notebooks of the dressage moves, and then she gets in there, gets a group together, and teaches them this. And so she's been kind of like, how do I want to plan this out more visual? And we had the thought, didn't Ben have some app for Legos that was stop motion? And she's like, oh yeah.
So she made a stop motion video. You just have to see this.
Yes.
So these are the horses moving into position and doing their little maneuvers. But that's not the most adorable thing, and that's not even the most impressive one.
So the thing with that, too, you have to know, that was like 58 photos to do that. So play it one more time, just because that one goes really quick, I think.
All right, let's see if I can do this here. There we go.
Sorry. Okay. So in order to get this to look so seamless, she took 58 photos and moved the horses slowly every time,
But now this one is actually, if you thought that was impressive, check this one out.
I know this one.
This took a lot of coordination going on here.
Right? I know.
That's pretty good.
So the thing you need to know about Lucy, she's got this amazing combination of detail orientation mixed with creativity. So she's really good at baking because she handles the recipe really good, but then she decorates it all really amazingly. And I think this is what's happening here. There's like a certain amount of crazy detail involved in the choreography, but then there's also the art of the dance and the choreography. So I don't know.
Yeah,
this is interesting.
blown away.
I know.
Really fun. But wanted to share that. We're proud parents, and I'm seeing
that
some
one had
comments.
like 168 photos, I think.
Yeah, that was a long.
Yeah,
that was intense. So.
Right.
Way to go, Lucy.
Yes.
And now a word from our sponsors.
All right, we're pretty excited. Tomorrow, we are doing a virtual program for a group of HR folks out in Pennsylvania. And I'm going through and giving a phone call to all of the Wonder Whimsy Society members. I had a great call with Mary Reich the other day from Wisconsin, and she said, every year I tell our national association that I'm a member of for her industry about Jason, and one of these years they're going to hire him. So those two things kind of got us thinking of like, yes, are any of you members of a professional or even recreational association? Because that's kind of our jam, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, we definitely we work with all sorts of people. I have a program coming up. It'll be my first in-person one since COVID hit.
Yes.
It's a smaller group, so we're
it's
able
like
to be a little bit more socially distanced, but it's for engineers. Of all people. Because when you think adultitis and people who are whimsical beyond all belief, you think engineers, right? Which actually they're always a fun group.
Yeah, they're awesome.
But this is like 7 years in a row. So we do a lot of different groups. But basically the through line is exactly what you'd think. People that need help looking at things in a new with a new perspective. So, dealing with change like we are right now.
Resiliency.
Deal with resiliency.
Stress management.
Look at opportunities.
I'm laughing because it's like, no, we're all good guys.
So we basically were like, there's a lot of people that watch this both live and in the replay that maybe they're not the person in charge of hiring speakers, but Mary reminded us, people can recommend speakers, and sometimes recommendations from within hold a lot of weight for the people who are making decisions. So if you pass our name along for your group, we'd love that. If you need any information or whatever, escapeadulthood.com/virtual is a good link to pass along to people. But
it's fun. We love being able to help groups out. And obviously most association meetings have a lot of industry related content. So we're kind of that lighthearted, fresh take that just helps people right where they're at. So
yes, Kelsey asks how small of groups, and
I mean 20 is what you're doing in a couple weeks.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be that. It could be any group. It could be. I'm trying to think what the lowest I've done, but back in the old church days, we did 2 or 3 people. But,
you never know.
Yeah, nowadays it could be a dozen, 20,
obviously
up
if it's
to
less than 10,
500, 1,000.
Well, with really, virtual, especially.
Yeah, it
doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Yeah. So if it's something that can work, we would love to help out and jump in.
Stephen. We're glad you made it.
Absolutely.
Life moves pretty fast. You don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it.
Every so often in my life, things are going along swimmingly. I know where I'm going, the path is clear, progress is being made, everything makes sense, and the future is bright. I like it when life is like that. But then, seemingly overnight, everything goes dry. Sand has obscured my path, and I feel like I'm in a barren wasteland, uncertain of which direction to head. I wonder if all the progress and clarity I'd experienced was merely a mirage, because suddenly all signs of life are absent. I'm stranded in the desert and all hope is drying up. Perhaps you felt this way recently. Maybe you feel this way right now. Growing up in the Midwest, I didn't have a lot of experience with deserts. Acres and acres of cornfields, yes. Barren expanses of desert, no. To me, deserts were hot, sandy stretches of nothing, save for an occasional cactus and those ominous cattle skulls. Of course, they can be those things. Officially, a desert is a dry, desolate, and barren area of land. It often looks dead, void of life and hope. But that's only if you're not looking closely enough. Deserts are harsh, but not lifeless. I took the picture that inspired this painting tonight while exploring Saguaro National Park a few years ago. It was spectacular, and unlike anything I had ever experienced growing up in Illinois. The signs of life aren't as obvious as in a jungle or forest, but they're there. They're just hidden. I can't help but draw some parallels to my roots in the agricultural heartland. Consider planting. After you cover a seed with soil, is the moment you see its first green shoot emerge from the earth the first time growth happened since you buried it? Of course not. It was always in the process of transforming, it just wasn't immediately visible. When you see rows and rows of tall sweet corn or endless fields of amber waves of grain, it's easy to forget that in the springtime those acres of soil seem barren and lifeless even though they'd already been planted. Heck, it can take several months to see the effect of pregnancy, but cells began multiplying and growing rapidly since the first moment of conception. In deserts, life is always on the move. We just aren't always able to see its progress. When we feel stranded in the desert, we need to remind ourselves that all is not lost. It's hard to be patient and stay hopeful when all evidence seems to suggest otherwise. Please know that when you find yourself in the desert, you're not deserted. God is always working, even when he seems silent or absent. It's hard to believe a plant so hostile and forbidding could produce a bloom so magnificent. Hang in there. Good things are happening right this very moment and will spring forth in time. Keep a sharp eye out for proof of life.
A very timely message tonight.
Seems to be, right?
Yes.
I mean, it just one of those years where it's like a never-ending desert, right?
Yeah, Helen Meisner and I were having a nice conversation this afternoon, and we were talking about how we're expending so much energy on below the surface that we don't recognize, and so it leaves us with less for moments of needing grace or patience or understanding with other people, especially in relationships. You find yourself a little dry quicker. So it kind of reminds me of that, of like, just keep carrying on. Like, life is still there. You're still working. It's just a little harder.
You don't see it. It's like,
Yeah.
I know we've gone through some ups and downs this year ourselves of like having moments where you feel like you're on the mountaintop and everything seems clear and obvious, and then a week later the events turn and you're like, I don't know, what was I crazy in that moment? What was I thinking? And,
Yes, we were.
It takes a lot of patience and faith to stay strong. But I thought this painting tonight was a good one to share because I have a feeling that there might be some people watching who are in one of those dry times right now and need a little encouragement, a little reminder that just because you don't see the progress doesn't mean it's not happening.
Speaking of the painting, can we try out that technology, or do you want to do it
Oh,
later?
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, okay, so this is new technology. Many of you may have saw us play with this a couple weeks ago when we discovered how to turn Jason's phone into a camera. But yeah, let's take a peek at...
Oops, let me...
We're still here. Can you hear us? All right, don't fear. The movie is not over.
Not sure why it's not working for me tonight.
Is it a Wi-Fi thing, maybe?
It should. I just tested it.
I'll cross my toes.
Keep talking.
All right, let's see. Let me try out some of the buttons. I never get a chance. This is perfect.
There we go.
Yay! Thank you for your patience.
Okay, so yeah, I
Yes.
got some little details. Now, interesting fact about this one. I don't know if I shared this in the studio sneak peek, but this photo of this cactus I actually took, but I added in a more foreboding. I'm not sure what the right word is. Sky, and then this flower was not actually in the photo that I took, but I was surprised to see that these flowers actually exist out of these little guys. So I thought that little, it's just like a little reminder of those times when things seem really bad. So you got my signature in there, but hopefully you can see.
I think the thing that really stands out are those little prickly things, how real they look. It really looks like you are going to hurt your fingers.
Yeah, they were really fun to paint, believe it or not.
I don't know how you got the depth on that makes it look like it's like sticking out.
Yeah.
How do you do that? I don't understand.
Part of my job. It's part of what I do.
Well, I appreciate that because I think I'm going to get pricked by this, and that's kind of freaking me out. So, whatever.
You're fine.
Okay.
I can assure you that you are fine. Let's draw. Shall we? Oops. Okay, we're here.
There we go.
Beep. There we go.
By the way, Studio Sneak. Oh, we'll do Studio Sneak Peek next. I'm getting ahead of myself.
I was gonna say we were off the set last week, so we have a couple little things that we didn't get quick back together.
And we didn't draw last week.
No, we didn't draw. So,
well, can I tell you something though? Is that I got a chance to talk with Victoria this week, and she said she uses Let's Draw with her team at work.
Oh, sweet!
Because she's a trainer.
That's cool.
At a credit union, and so they do Let's Draw. So how cool! Thank you for sharing that, Victoria.
Cool.
Yes, awesome.
Please feel free. And if you are with us tonight or watching on the replay, and you have something to draw with and something to draw on. Could be crayons, markers, paint, spray paint, finger paint, whatever, or it could just be a ballpoint pen and a Post-it note. We'd love to have you join us. We're going to start out real simple here tonight with a straight line right down at the bottom, about in the middle. And I'm going to draw a little, almost looks like a mitt or a tombstone right there.
Another Halloween theme, huh?
Then I'm going to draw another shape like this. And these shapes do not have to be perfect. This one I'm going to make a little smaller. And then I'm going to make another little smaller one growing out of this. And then I'm going to make another one coming off the side here.
It tells you how strong the Disney brand is. Because I'm like, that's not the Disney ears. You're doing a Mickey ears wrong.
I'm going to say, what do you see? Olaf there?
No,
right,
Mickey ears.
I'm going to put some little grass at the bottom. Now, real easy way to make this guy look prickly is to draw some V's in different areas along the edges. Okay, so that's the first step, is to draw these V's randomly about. Okay, it's a good start there. Now I'm also going to then, on the rest of it, on the inside parts, I'm going to draw X's. Okay. And this is going to give us a little feeling of this being cactusy. Now I'm going to leave the top one a little open, and you'll see why in a second. But first I'm going to color in this cactus. Hopefully you can tell that's what we're working on here.
Steven said there's a hidden Mickey, which I would agree. So all the Disney geeks out there, and I say that lovingly because we're also Disney geeks.
Yeah.
And Dorothy said she also saw that when you started drawing that.
The Mickey section,
the Mickey, yeah. So it was the little one that threw me off. I was like, oh,
why did you make it so small?
Yeah,
yes.
It's lopsided.
I'm trying to avoid copyright infringement.
They will find
what
you.
I'm doing.
They're legit.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we've got our cactus drawn in here. All right. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add some whimsy to it. I'm going to go back to my drawing layer. I'm going to get kind of a darker. Let's do like a brownish color. I need to bring this down.
Alex is asking, in your picture, is this the picture which the horse is from with the desert with no name? Is that a movie or a song?
I'm not sure what that reference is,
I
but I
know,
probably
it's a
should.
reference that
Okay.
It's somewhat familiar.
So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a mustache on this cactus.
Yes.
And I don't really know how to describe it other than to try to create some, just, demonstrate it here. I'm going to cover this part in. And, out west, they have some epic mustaches.
Yes.
Okay, so we got a mustache, and we're going to put some eyes in here. This is why you see now I left that part a little bit blank.
Bigger. Okay.
And I feel like he needs kind of like a bushy eyebrows, like that.
Could this be the first demonstration video of a cactus with a mustache?
I hope so. I'm hoping this is my claim to fame. And I'm going to put a little Arby's hat here.
Oh, Arby's.
Because I love me some Arby's. They have the meats. All right, now I'm going to do a little fun thing in the background here, I think, just to finish it off. So I have kind of like a light purple background, and I'm going to get some whitish color. And in the background here, I'm going to just draw some clouds. It's a little bit too thick.
By the way, everyone's confirming, yes, that is a song that Alex was talking about. Okay. So thank you. I obviously missed that song.
Now, a little...
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like that.
Putting a little clouds in the background.
Like a horizon kind of thing.
Yeah, adds a little of the horizon in there. And
he's cool.
Put a little bit. You can just little squibblies like this.
Squibblies.
Yeah. Squibblies.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
4 years of art school to get to that level. Squibblies.
A really hearty college debt for that one.
Yeah, not as bad as some, but and then I suppose I wasn't planning this, but I suppose you could put a little flower off here.
That's
a little
cute.
pink, and
I
then
like
maybe
that.
a little. Yeah, there's some little
squibblies.
A little squibbly there.
Mm-hmm.
So there is tonight's lesson, which is a mustachioed cactus. I'm always trying to come up with ridiculous things to draw because
why not?
Cacti have been drawn to death. But probably not mustachioed ones.
My inner kindergarten teacher is appreciating the fact that it's mustachioed in the color of pistachioed.
Ooh,
right?
Nice. Yeah. Didn't even plan that one, but yeah, that was. That's why we keep her around.
All right, let's check out what we have to share behind the scenes this week. All right, Jason put me on quite the errand on Monday. We have the most. I know. No, we divide and conquer in this house, but we have the most amazing company here in Madison that does all of our scanning for the artwork. So, of course, these huge pieces, everything from the tiny ones to the huge ones, we bring in the art and they somehow make this digital, and it's pretty magical.
They do a good job.
Yes,
I've
they do.
experimented with doing it myself, and I just can't get
The
same
equipment they
results,
have
so.
is just top notch. So it really is cool because we dropped off all 9 Corona Blessing paintings that will be featured at gallery night coming up in November. And then what they do is they give us these little sheets that are, what are these, like color swatch matches,
Yeah, color
basically,
proofs. Mhm.
that then you can, hold up to the painting and just double check that the colors how you want them to be. Of course, he sends me to double check this. And
Well,
anyone
to be
who's
fair,
not
we've-
a true, trained artist, I'm looking at it going, it looks good to me,
And the truth is, we've
They're
done
so
this
good,
a
yeah.
number of times, and they're always so good that I have full confidence now that it's going to turn out just fine. Because they have the painting right there. So they're the professionals, and they do a really good job.
It just basically looks like a mirrored image, which is crazy cool because obviously with oil painting and, it's just a quality that is hard to replicate.
Yeah, it really is, because the as you probably saw from the preview of the close up, there's oil painting has a lot of gloss to it.
Yes,
and
a
so
shine.
to be able to photograph it without having too much of the painting washed out is hard.
Right.
Now I do. This one actually has been varnished, so I don't varnish the paintings until after they get photographed. So that adds a little bit more of a gloss
shine.
and shine to it after, to help my photographer friends.
So
but
this, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but it goes along with gallery night. Can you tell us what you're going to do with these on gallery night? Or do you want to just talk about it later?
Well, these paintings will all be for sale on gallery night in auction. So we're kicking it off in auction. That is November 11th. We're doing this. It's going to be same time as this show, but transformed into something fancier. And
I guess we'll be fancy.
We'll
will
have
be
to work on
fancy.
it. Start tomorrow probably. But yeah, we're going to have the originals available for sale, but also we're going to have the prints available for sale. We're going to have
which are
some
currently
other
not for sale. People have
limited
asked.
edition things, some really cool stuff that is only going to be available through gallery night. All of these paintings, though, one of the reasons we needed to get this all rolling was because they're all in the calendar, and the calendar is very close to being for
Very
sale.
close.
It's not for sale yet. It's not available yet.
Yep.
Very, 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 very close. But it's coming, and we're excited about that.
You might want to throw Paul's question up there because it's a good question,
This
and
one?
it's just naturally curious.
Paul wants to know, you have to live in the desert to bid on the cactus, right?
It's a good point.
I'll answer that by saying you can live in the desert, and
I'm trying to figure out if there's other
be able
connections here. Like, do you have to live where the whales live?
you have to have caught a fish with your mouth in order to bid on that one. No,
Some
that
people
is the only
actually
one.
don't know about dandelions. Like, we've had different gigs that where Jason shares the weeds and wishes, and we're like, do they not have weeds? They not have dandelions here? And there have been times, right? Was it Hawaii? They're like, they did not have dandelions in Hawaii.
No clue.
Good to know.
No clue. Jody says, Paul, you may have some competition. So it's already on. It is on. Like Donkey Kong.
It's going to be a fun night, you guys. So we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves, but anyway. But
Yes.
it was fun, and it's always neat to see their reaction because, of course, as you can imagine, they're pretty excited to see all the originals too. So I always feel like I'm kind of like doing a sneak peek for them, and everybody's all like, "Oh, I like this one best." And so
It's fun to get that feedback.
It is.
For sure.
Yeah. And speaking of Adultitis Fighters Unite, Julie Rode, either way, said, I just made wishes today with dandelions. So
wow.
that's awesome.
Cool.
Which makes me wonder where you're from because we certainly don't have those
Yeah, they're
here.
long gone here,
Yeah,
that's for
they
sure.
must be farther down south than us.
Got some drawings that came in last week. Obviously, we didn't get to show them last week because we were on location, didn't have all of the same segments, but had a chance to put them up here. Lisa,
Yes.
is a good one here.
Yeah, and I think does the little bass say "Pop with Joy"? Is that
Oh
what
yeah,
I see?
it's like
yeah.
a what do they
Like
call
a
it? Jack in the Box. Yes.
Yep. Very cute.
It's great.
And
Stephen with a
then-
very colorful one here.
I loved all those
Like
colors.
that one.
And the
Very
little psalm he put on there.
Jubilant.
Very cool.
Coming out of a tuba, it looks like, by the way.
Hey, little
So,
Kathy
there's
Rose.
that, yep.
Who's gotta love the horned instruments. You
Yep.
know?
Lisa with coming out of the cake. She did a good job there with
Love
the
that.
frosting like that. And I think we had
Mhm.
one more. Yeah, Tracy.
That cake is cool too.
Very cool. Very cool.
Surprise!
I like that one. I like them all.
Mhm.
Good job.
And I like her little notebook. I wonder if you're doing all of them in a notebook like that. I'd love to see what people have going because I know at this point we're up to like 23 different Let's Draw segments. So if you've got a little system, it's kind of fun to see.
Yes, and of course, if you drew the cactus,
What did we draw?
if you drew that tonight, or if you're watching the replay and you draw it, just get it in by next show. Got a week to share it. We love to share your art with the rest of the crew.
Steven said that was a trumpet, not a tuba. So we need some orchestra.
The scale is hard. It's a freaking whale. It's hard to know.
Sorry.
Speaking of Steven, he sent me this meme a while ago, and I really liked it. When you grow up, people stop asking you what your favorite dinosaur is. They don't even care. And it was sort of like part of a theme we wanted to talk a little bit about tonight was how, when you get older, the whimsy just sort of dies away, right?
Yes.
People stop asking you what you want to be when you grow up.
What's your favorite color?
Right? They ask you what you do, I
Which
guess.
is
But that's not
way
the same.
boring.
They don't
Right.
ask you what your dreams are. They don't ask you what your favorite color is, what your favorite dinosaur is. It's
true.
It's kind of sad. And that's kind of why we exist. Is to remind people that it's okay to have a favorite dinosaur and to ask others what their favorite dinosaur is.
Isn't that way cooler of an icebreaker question when you first meet someone instead of being like, what do you do? Or what, not that you meet people anymore because of COVID, but
because COVID.
Someday when you're out in the world and you meet someone, that will happen again, guys. Just have the hope of that. It'd be way cooler to say, hey, by the way, what's your favorite dinosaur? And then you'll either get a blank stare or you'll get a laugh, and then you know what you're dealing with. Which, by the way, I won't reveal the name on this person just in case she didn't want me to tell this story, but there is an Adultitis Fighter who uses barbarian spaghetti on the 4th or 5th date to find out if Mr. Right is going to move forward or not. Isn't that epic? But it kind of goes along with us. If you have date number 4 with the potential someone and they can't handle barbarian spaghetti, then you could just cut your losses, right? And just move on. Don't waste any more time.
No mas.
It's a dating filter. What is
like
that? A litmus test? Litmus?
Nope, you had it right the first time.
Litmus?
Litmus.
That little thing that you dip in. I know what it is. I just can't say it. So, yes, cool. Very cool, Steven. We loved it.
Yeah, we got some good examples of Adultitis Fighters here.
Mike, I mean, this is scary stuff. He heard movement from another room and he caught Wonder Marty, who is our little mascot for Wonder Whimsy, in the bag of the caramel apples. And it's nothing sacred, he says. It's nothing sacred that he can't just leave well enough alone for the family. So
I got to pull this up. On this last thing we just talked about, Helen says, no one applauds when you go potty on the toilet. My preschool class did for me when I returned from the ladies' room the other day. That's why kids rock. Right?
I do miss groups of children.
I'm going to do that. Next time.
Me?
Next time you come in from the bathroom, I hear the toilet flush, I'm going to stand up. My hat's off to you.
That could be a new family tradition. So thank you for that, Helen.
What else we got here?
Yes,
Betsy.
Betsy has a new puppy, Sunny, who they're just relaxing together.
The puppy's name is Sunny?
Sunny.
Okay, you said it like Puppy Sunny.
Oh, sorry. Yes,
Sunny.
Little puppy Sunny. And I have to say, this picture just made my heart melt because is there nothing sweeter than laying and taking an afternoon nap with your puppy?
It's pretty good.
That's good adultitis fighting.
Life gets, right? That's That's the opposite of the clown photo earlier,
Yes.
right? So
This makes up Kelsey.
we're bringing it back
We're bringing
around,
it back
okay?
to you, okay?
Little does she know I have a clown neck. No, I'm just kidding.
No! And then Polly shared in the Escape Adulthood League her Adultitis Fighting mask. If you have not fully taken advantage of whimsical masks, you need to check yourself.
Step up your game.
You need to have a little
Step it up.
Stuart Smalley moment in the mirror.
Yeah.
Like,
really do.
what's keeping you from the whimsical mask at this point?
That's what I'm talking about.
You know who you are, medical mask people.
Remember mask shaming, but in a different way. Well,
So we loved it, Polly, in other words.
Elle sent this along a while ago. She works at a school district, and she said that they were really kind of in a downer mood. And
Why?
So what do you think?
Holy nightmare.
I was being sarcastic, by the way.
One of the things I'm excited about is next week we're doing a special mastermind for Wonder and Whimsy about pandemic schooling.
Yes.
To share tips and
it's
mostly
going
just to
wonderfully.
give people
Yeah.
a chance to vent
Yeah.
and realize they're not in the
Freak
island.
out.
But,
By the way, Kara Tracy says, I only own whimsical masks.
well, that's shocking. That's hard to believe. I don't believe it. I don't believe it for 1 second.
This is why you and Paul are here every week, right? This is, yeah.
So yeah, Elle, it was very simple. She just saw everyone was kind of in a downer mood, and then she made up these little things with the Tootsie guy, by the way.
Yeah.
He's right here.
We love him. Yeah.
Dude.
Obviously, you did a whole painting on this concept of
Yes.
the Tootsie Pop. Yeah.
Um,
He's so cute. What's his name? Oh.
Mr. Owl. Mr. Owl. I
Does he
think.
have a name? Somebody
He's
find
also,
out.
He's got the little graduation.
Yeah. Does he always have
He's
that?
just Mr. Owl.
He does.
But anyway, yeah, it says on the label there, Mr. Owl.
Okay.
She says, we can lick this. Bring it on. 2021 school year. Stay strong out there. And she gave one of those to everybody and sent out a follow-up email of encouragement. So just...
It reminds me of Jill Bodwin, who literally wore a motorcycle helmet and handed... Are you going to creepily do that?
It's like...
Like
Dr. Evil. Yeah.
I was thinking of Mice and Men, but you know.
No, I'm not going to kill it.
So Jill Bodwin, amazing adultitis fighter who attended our first Escape Adulthood Summit way back in 2012. She literally put on a motorcycle helmet and handed everyone bouncy balls on the first day of school because everyone was mad at her about something. She was a director, like, you know, the
something
boss.
out of her control,
Yeah.
but she took responsibility for it.
And she put on the song "Hit Me With Your Best Shot," and then she literally let everyone throw bouncy balls at her. I assume they didn't hit her body. I wasn't
Yeah,
there.
they were all over.
Oh,
yeah. It was,
Jill.
It was remarkable.
By the way, Jill just retired, so congratulations.
It was a
to you.
beautiful thing. It was a great example of leadership. But again, another reminder, just like this from Elle, what little things we can do just to
creativity
bring
and leadership,
some whimsy and light and hope to others.
Yeah,
So.
those little things make a big difference.
Yep.
For sure.
And then this photo is a little hard to decipher, but this has a good story. Kim.
This is, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of enamel pins. I talked with Jo this morning. She's a member of our Wonder and Whimsy Society, and she was telling me about when she was a speech language pathologist in the school. She's retired now. She would wear one of her collected pins. She's got over 500, which I love. Talk about
which you
adult
can
whimsy. Like, talk
she's
about,
not lying.
No, and this was one of 2 photos she sent us of groups of pens. But she said she would wear one every day, and it would be a little conversation starter, speech pathologist with the students, and it would, you know, ignite new conversation, and it was a whimsical thing she would do. And now that she's been retired for like 8 years, she misses that whimsy. And so she kind of challenged herself in our conversation of saying, I think I'm going to do something with the pins. I think I want to do. And she also mentioned that when she retired, she kind of got grouped into this kind of older woman mentality that like whimsy is only found in your grandkids. And she's like, you know, that's not true. I think we have a lot of control over our whimsy, and it doesn't always have to tie to grandkids. Which, by the way, they do provide a lot of whimsy. But what if you don't have grandkids? And even if you do, you're not with them every second of the day, right? So I just loved her self-challenging thought process of like whimsy is to be found every day. And she remembered something that she did appreciate with being around kids, that they love this. So she loves it too, and she wants to bring it back. So a long way to say whimsy is possible no matter how old you are.
Yep.
Right? So thank you for your example, Joe, and good luck to your surgery coming up. We hope it goes well. So
yeah, well, that reminds me of we have some enamel pins on our store. This is an old graphic. These aren't exactly new.
Hey, you're wearing that shirt.
Yes, I am. But we have some limited edition enamel pins on our store. We have Boss Lady and Do the Work with the Push-Up Dude. Good Fortune, and of course Holy Guacamole. And I think the Boss Lady one is almost gone.
Yeah, we only buy so many, and then
gone.
They just run out, and we don't order them again because they're kind of a pain to order. So
yeah,
it's just limited edition.
If you're inspired by Joe and want to add a little flair, a little whimsy to your wardrobe,
that's a conversation starter.
Good way to do it. I think that was the last one of that. So yeah, basically we wanted to do our normal giveaway as one of our favorite segments that's coming up. And first, let me ask the question, and then I'll tell you what you can win.
Uh-oh.
Ready for this?
Which, by the way, did we have a winner last week?
Yes. Shauna Baranchik was the winner. Did you follow up with her? I hope you did.
Okay.
If not, Shauna, you win, and
did
we'll
I not
be in
tell
touch.
You? Because we were on vacation, I may not have done my normal
Yeah,
thing
I think it
on
was
that,
a print of her choice. So.
Yes, I don't think we told her. So yay, Shauna!
I love we. Like that's.
It's usually my job, but when you're on vacation, you forget things. So Shauna, I'll reach out to you.
We'll get to it. But anyway, we have another. This is the benefit of being here live. You know, we love everyone who watches the replays, but in order to win the prizes, you got to be here live, and you want to stick to the very, very end because we have.
Oh my gosh!
A really good video to share.
You know how we always have those little videos of the kids at the end. This one, when I saw it today, I was like, oh! So you're gonna want to see it.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
But the question for today's prize: in what everyday situation would you be most alarmed to see a clown? This is the question. And so put in the comments.
Kelsey's like everywhere.
Put
every situation.
Okay, Shauna actually said she did.
Okay, just good. I must have did it right away. Okay, good. Just let us know what you want. We'll get it to you.
Yeah, so this is ripe for really good answers. So do not let me down. Put in the comments the everyday situation you would be most alarmed to see a clown. And the winner will get a pillow.
Not of a clown.
Not of a clown.
No clowns, but very silly, whimsical.
This is a whimsical
awesomeness
lion with a Burger King crown. So this is what this is called, the Burger King. And this one turned out really cool.
I love the colors. Yeah, it's really bright.
And it's got a lot of purple in it, and so the back is like a purple. So this is a really bright.
One thing, do we sell these on the website?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't know if it was a limited edition thing, but one of the cool things about these pillows, if you were ever one of those people that love cold pillows, you know, the kids love it.
As the other side of the pillow,
yes,
right?
It's always very cold, these pillows. So if you're a cold pillow kind of person, this is your throat pillow because
I got to pull this up because I am actually impressed with myself, which doesn't
with yourself or the printer
happen often. Well, I think the printer makes it stand out, but this the colors in this lion.
Oh yeah.
I'd forgotten how much color I put into. You know, you think of a lion as brown,
right?
And I really put a lot of color into his face, which I think it really just shows up on this pillow.
Go to the top of his head. There's a lot of purple and blue in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, and there's Kim, the Burger King crown. So yeah, I just wanted to.
All right, who's gonna win the pillow? Let's see what we got for answers. By the way, I have one. Do you want it now or later?
What?
The answer.
Oh, well, let's see what we got going here first.
In what everyday situation would you
I'm trying to look at
be most alarmed to see a
so
clown?
I gotta go up here. Mm-hmm. Okay. So Kathy Rose says, "When I wake up."
Yeah.
Jody being at the dentist. That was mine. That was what I was going to use. Like the
keep
dentist.
that mask on, right? Yeah.
Christy says, "Opening the toilet.
Everyday situation. No clapping after that bathroom trip.
Mary
No.
says women's doctor
Oh,
visits.
see, that was gonna be
And
mine.
Helen saying in the
Yes.
gynecologist office. Yeah, you don't.
Nope, no joking.
Who's this clown?
No joking
right?
around. In fact, that's why I don't go to our doctor that the kids and Jason go to, because he is a bit of a clown. And I'm like, nope, nope, don't need that. Nope.
How about Paul says using a urinal? Yeah, that would be disheartening when, like, you know, you're just doing your business, and then you just happen to look up and he was already there, and you're like, that'd be disturbing.
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
No.
I pushed the wrong one.
Well, maybe not. Depends if you're into clowns, I guess. Let's see. Kelsey says, in the shower, cough, cough, Rachel Crimmins.
Oh, ooh. Is that like a...
Don't let that one be. Opening the fridge for a tasty treat.
Oh, yeah. Freak out, right?
Our pastor.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
It's not going to be good.
No.
Going to the post office for a very important work errand.
Not quite, right, Amy?
No.
Oh, no.
Jen says, so many good ones. I would not like to have a clown in the back seat when I look in the room. Oh, now I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight.
Which reminds
That is a
me,
terror.
remember what me and Joanne did to my mom? Do you remember that story? Oh,
No.
so
no.
as like 8-year-olds.
Sounds like one you got to tell.
As like 8-year-olds, my cousin and I, who were like totally like partners in crime, you know, separated kind of deal, we hid in my mom's minivan.
Separated kind of deal?
No, like not separated or connected at the hip is what I was thinking in my head. But we hid in my mom's minivan behind the bucket seats of our Safari conversion van or whatever we had at the time, you know. And we hid behind the bucket seats. And then as my mom was driving to the pharmacist, we sprung out from behind the bucket seats and we're like, surprise! And she like literally almost killed us all. And it's a miracle I'm here
That's
today.
No clowns were involved, though. But
No, but you should never have children jumping out at you. And she was going down Terracotta Hill, which is like
A little
super windy.
Death
I'm
road.
like, oh,
Yes.
so sorry, Mom.
Where else would it not be good to have clowns? How about driving a school bus full of small children?
No.
How about the deli counter?
Ooh, yeah. Let's keep that
You just,
professional.
I'm envisioning like Krusty Clown, like, you want some salami?
Right?
Amy says, my
Oh.
Taekwondo instructor.
That
what
you're,
else?
yeah, I don't think Steve should dress up as a clown for Halloween, her hubby.
Well, Kim can relate to this one. Next to you in bed.
I know, right? I mean, come on.
Mhm.
No, but on a serious level, that would be pretty freaky to wake up to that.
Mary Beth, anywhere. Just too creepy.
We're with
Mike,
ya.
Under the bed.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
See, we can't even show
In
this
yoga
segment to our
class.
kids.
Now
'cause-
this I would love to see a
Yeah.
clown in yoga class.
You
Like
would?
the one with the the axe, the
No!
murderous axe, and the
Everyone's so peaceful.
he should have like a cigarette coming out of his mouth, like totally unhealthy.
Oh.
Dorothy says, "In my trash can."
Oh, you go to open it up. No!
Not good. So many good ones. So many good ones coming in.
Yeah.
Keep it up. We'll keep this open for the next few minutes.
I think
and
that's
we'll
one of my
pick
favorite things about Halloween is the
Clowns?
anticipation of like being afraid. And someone I can't remember who said that they're already starting to watch Halloween movies. Oh, I think that was in Mike Schroeder's post that they were watching Halloween movies, and just kind of that little. It's very childlike. It's very
Yeah.
playful.
Well, it's kind of like riding a roller coaster, right?
Yes, allowing
Got
yourself.
that fear, that terror, but you know it's not real, which is
Here's-
different than real life terror.
which
that's
is
going
literally happening.
Right.
So I wonder if we will be more prone to scary movies this month than in years past.
Yeah. Are they more needed because you need it
Yes.
to be, or do you avoid it? I mean, that was something that we talked about at the very
Yes.
beginning of this pandemic. Is
Nostalgia.
people watching. No, I was talking about people that watching pandemic movies
yeah?
and zombie movies and terrible things, and they said it just kind of helps them get their mind off of it. But I
Well,
couldn't do it. I
We
couldn't do it.
used to watch 911, one of the movies from series from NBC, I think.
Mhm.
But then come like April, we tried to watch one and we couldn't.
Yeah.
We turned it off like 5 minutes in. It was too visceral. It was too visual, and we just didn't even realize how much we did not need that. So
So
we
we've been
haven't
watching
watched it
Scrubs.
since.
We've been watching Scrubs and cooking shows, and that's been
that's our jam.
fine.
Yep.
But to each his own. To each his own.
Yeah. It's an interesting
Um,
concept, that's for sure.
Mike says, "Wait, what's that behind you?"
Actually, you know what's kind of funny? Did we show this already?
No,
Okay, yeah.
I didn't
it
know
is
if you'd
kind of.
noticed or not. But
Yeah, I saw him, little Edward Scissorhands. We have been actually talking about showing the kids this because why not? I mean, I think they're ready.
That could be a good one.
Yeah, I mean, it is freaky,
Dark
but
Johnny Depp, but
it's not freaky scary. It's just odd, you know,
Yeah.
like Tim Burton and everything. But
yeah, pretty much sums it up.
yeah.
I would say.
Mhm.
So yeah, just another reminder, November 11th, this time, this channel, gallery night will be, we've obviously, tonight we talked about the cactus. We've been talking about some of these artworks along the way, but we'll be showing them and talking about the stories behind them. And it's gallery night and we're showing art and we're going to have cool things up for auction. But really, the thrust of it is going back to be inspired by Wonder Night, which is something we've had the last 3 years in Madison, and we couldn't have it this year, but we're doing this. And one of the cool things about this is that everyone can be a part of it. And one of the things with Wonder Night is it's not just about art. It's not just about buying stuff. It's about being inspired. It's about hope, and that's really what I think we'll need. I mean, regardless of how the election goes, it's going to be traumatic for half the country. And this is going to be the week after the election. And I think it's going to be a time where we will need to have some levity, have some inspiration, have some hope. And that's what we're really trying to build into. We hope every week these are fun and inspiring and hope-filled, but we're really going to, turn the knob up to 11 on gallery night, and we hope you can join us for that.
I love what Helen just shared. She said she's going to need to pour herself some wine that night and nibble some grapes and cheese.
Yes.
And actually, you're onto something, Helen, because we are going to be starting to share some ideas of how to make it really special in your own homes, whether that's watching virtually with friends or, if you have a bubble of people that you do, have in your zone of safety that you want to have over. That's something I think that could be really neat.
Yeah,
it's
I
like we
think
get
so,
together.
too.
We used to get together for football games and everything else. Like, why not get together and be inspired, which is something that we're all lacking so much. So
Kathy Rose says up to 11 on 11/11. That's right. Well, I like that. Thanks for making that connection.
Right? I love it.
Yeah. So just a reminder on this week's prescription, especially if you're in one of those zones right now where you feel a little aimless or you feel like nothing good is happening, I know it's hard, but just to stay patient, be patient, stay hopeful, and carry on, because things are happening. Good things are happening. We don't always see them in the middle of it, but there's always good things happening behind the scenes that will be proof of life eventually. And if you're in that zone right now, just hang in there. We're pulling for you. We're rooting for you. And
It's good to know you're not alone.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're all in this together. So,
Yeah.
but that is it for this show. Until next time, Adultitis Fighters.
Shine on, spread whimsy, and be awesome.